Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are starting the new session, and if you remember, we finished with the first order, first degree PDE, and today we are starting with higher order PDE. So I am starting with the standard form of higher order PDE. So this is higher order PDE. So this is higher order PDE, and the standard form is the standard form an partial nz over partial x power n plus an minus 1 partial nz over partial x n minus 1 partial y plus an minus 2 partial nz over partial x n minus 2 partial y and so on plus a2 partial nz over partial x 2y partial y power n minus 2 plus a1 partial nz over partial x partial y n minus 1 and finally a0 partial nz over partial y n equal to f of xy. So this is the standard form. This equation is known as linear homogeneous nth order linear homogeneous nth order partial differential equation with constant coefficients, and this is included in our syllabus. So now I am giving you the explanation of all these words. Where a0, a1, a2 up to an are the real constants. Constant coefficients means these an minus 1, an minus 2, a2, a1 and a0, these all will be the real constant, means these will be generally the numbers. Then nth order means, since this is an nth order ODE showing the order of the derivative, highest order of the derivative. Homogeneous, why we are calling homogeneous? If you remember, this is the third time I am using the word homogeneous in differential equation. I first used this word in first order first degree ODE, then I used second time in higher order ODE, and now I am using this in higher order PDE. So in this case, homogeneous means the order of the derivative in each and every derivative is identical, same order. What it means? Let me give you 2-3 examples to understand this word homogeneous. Let's say I am writing few PDEs of homogeneous form. I have written 3 examples just to emphasize that what is meant by homogeneous, why we are calling that we will work on homogeneous PDEs. Look at these examples. There are 2 terms, derivative content term. I am talking about all derivative content terms. So there are 2 derivative content terms in example 1 and both have the 4th order derivative. In example 2 there are 4 derivative content terms and each and every term is of order 3. Here there are 3 derivative content terms and each derivative term has order 2. So homogeneous means on left hand side whatever number of terms are there, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that all derivative content terms must have the same order of derivative. Like we said 4 and 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. So if in a higher order PD all derivative content terms have the same order of derivative, then such higher order PDEs will be known as homogeneous higher order PDEs. So that is why we are saying that these are homogeneous. What it means by linear? Linear means the degree of all these derivatives must be 1. So this is the explanation of all these words which I am using for this standard form. So now going on to the solution of this. Now as we did in higher order PDE, the solution is depending on the right hand side. If the right hand side is 0, then we just need to find complementary function as we said in higher order ODE. And if the right hand side is non-zero, then we need to find the complementary function and particular integral both. So this is the same scenario as we did for higher order ODE. Then we started in a higher order ODE with working on complementary function. So here also we will start with working on those examples in which we just need to calculate the complementary function. So starting with few examples with complementary function. Let's say we have the identical examples. Let's say example number 1 is the same as I write here, partial 4z over partial x power 4 minus partial 4z over partial y power 4 equal to 0. So now we are working on examples of complementary functions for finding complementary function. Now it is important to keep in mind that while we work in PDEs, generally the x and y are the independent variables while z is the dependent variable. So in general we have z as the dependent variable while x and y are the independent variables in general. Otherwise variables can be any. Now for finding the complementary function, just like higher order ODEs, the method of solution for higher order PDEs is also the operator D method. So here if the question is not given in operator D method, we need to first convert the question in operator D method. So here in general, as we said in higher order ODE, that the derivative with respect to x will be called as capital D, while the derivative with respect to y will be called as d dash in general. But in original, if you do not have x and y as independent variables and you have other variables, let me write the same example in other way around. If let's say I have partial 4t over partial u power 4 minus partial 4t over partial v power 4 equal to 0. Let's say I have the same example but with different variables, then remember that the first independent variable will be named as capital D. So here partial by partial u, the derivative with the first independent variable appearing in the given question. So here this derivative will be known as, will be given the name d, and this derivative will be given the name as d dash. So this is the way to call the derivatives d and d dash. So it means now we have the question in this form, d4 minus d dash 4 z is equal to 0. So we need to find the value of z here. So now like we did in higher order ODE, here we need to write the auxiliary equation. And if you remember, we said for making auxiliary equation in higher order ODE, we substitute capital D as m, but here we do have a d dash as well. So for auxiliary equation, write d equal to m and d dash equal to 1. You always substitute small m in place of d and 1 in place of d dash for making the auxiliary equation. So now the auxiliary equation is m power 4 minus 1 power 4 equal to 0. So now we need to find the values. If you remember, I told you in higher order ODE that there is no restriction on the method. You can directly write the answer and you can use your scientific calculators for writing the roots of the given equation. So here the roots will be m equal to plus minus 1 and plus minus iota. These are the 4 roots. And here also we have the same 3 types of roots as we discussed in higher order ODE. We will have the same kinds of roots. Now, as we discussed, that once we have the roots, then we need to write the final answer, that is the representation of the roots will be. So here in PDE we need to write z equal to, then let me write first f1 y plus 1 into x plus f2 y minus 1 into x plus f3 y plus iota into x and plus f4 y minus iota into x. Let me make a clear view of this. Now, how I am writing this? If you remember, I told you in higher order ODE that we need to assign as many constants as the number of roots are. So since there are 4 roots, so we need to assign 4 constants. Here f1, f2, f3, f4 are representing the constants. Generally in ODs we used C1, C2, C3, C4. C represents the constants, but in PDEs generally F represents the constants. So here F1, 2, 3, 4 are representing the constants. So there are 4 constants assigned. Now you need to multiply the root with the x in general. So simply remember that the general form of representing a root is this one. You need to replace m with the value of the root, and then you will assign in subscript 1, 2, 3, 4 whichever number of root is this. And just like higher order ODs, we need to add next value in the previous value, means each and every root will be added in one another. So again, this is the hard and fast 4 steps for representing the solution of higher order PDE for complementary function. Now I am solving another example. Now I am considering example number 2. Let's say I have to solve example number 2. So let's say second example is partial 3z over partial x cube minus 3 partial 3z over partial x square partial y plus 3 partial 3z over partial x partial y square minus 3 partial 3z partial y cube equal to 0. Now we have example number 2 for finding the complementary function. So first of all, transforming it in operator D method, so d3 minus 3d square into d dash plus 3d into d dash square minus b dash cube into z equal to 0. So this is the operator D form. Now writing the auxiliary equation. So this is n cube minus 3n square into 1 plus 3n into 1 square minus 1 cube equal to 0. It means n cube minus 3n square plus 3n minus 1 equal to 0. So it means we have n equal to 1, 1 and 1. Here all three roots are 1, 1, 1 means we have repeated roots. These roots are known as real and distinct. If you remember, I told you that generally we have three kinds of roots, and those three roots are generally these three types of roots are: number 1 real and distinct, then number 2 real and repeated, and number 3 complex. So here are the same thing. These four roots are distinct, these two are real and distinct, and these two are complex and distinct. And here all three roots are real but repeated. So now I am telling you the way to write repeated roots. Almost the same idea as we did in higher order ODE. F1 y plus 1 into x plus x, F2 y plus 1 into x plus x square, F3 y plus 1 into x. The same way of writing x, x square and so on for representing the repetition of the roots. If you remember, we use the same thing x, x square, x cube for repetition in the roots in higher order ODE as well. So finally, let me give you another example, that is this example number 3. Let's say we have example partial 2z over partial x square plus 5 times partial 2z over partial x partial y and plus 4 times partial 2z over partial y square equal to 0. So again, writing first in operator d form, so that is d square plus 5d into d dash and plus 4d dash square z equal to 0. Then writing its auxiliary equation. So its auxiliary equation will be m square plus 5m plus 4 equal to 0. Replacing capital D with m, small m and d dash with 1. So it means m equal to minus 4 and minus 1. It means the final answer will be z equal to f1y minus 4x plus f2y minus 1x. So these are the examples related to homogeneous higher order PDE when right hand side is 0. So before finishing this, let me give you an overview of whatever we discussed in this session. Remember, in higher order PDEs, what we need to learn as per our syllabus, we need to learn only homogeneous higher order PDEs. Only linear homogeneous higher order PDEs. So linear means the degree of the derivative contained terms will always be 1, as you are watching in this example 1, example 2 and example 3. Then the degree of all these derivatives is 1. That is why we are calling them linear. Then secondly, homogeneous. Homogeneous means all the derivative contained terms must be of same order. It doesn't matter what order they hold, but the order must be same. So I put it in this way, that in one example I put the order 4, in this example I put the order 3, and in this example I put the order 2. So the important thing is that all derivative contained terms in the example must have the same order, because on this basis we are calling them homogeneous. Then the next point is, if the right hand side of the PD, higher order PD is 0, then we just need to find the complementary function, as I did in all 3 examples. And if the right hand side is non-zero, then as we did in higher order ODE, that we need to find complementary function and particular integral both. So we are starting with finding the complementary function. So I started with 3 examples whose right hand side is 0. Now as far as solution method is concerned, as we discussed in higher order ODE, that higher order ODEs always be solved by using operator D method. Same thing applies here. Higher order PDEs are also solved by using operator D method. Here operator D method means you need to substitute the derivative of with respect to x as d and the derivative with respect to y as d dash. But this rule is in general. In original, if you want to call d, then you have to look at the equation. Whichever variable comes first, that derivative will be denoted by capital D, and whichever variable comes second, then that derivative will be denoted by d dash. So here we call derivative with respect to x as d and derivative with respect to y as d dash. So then the question will be transformed in operator D method. Once we have the question in operator D method, then we need to write the auxiliary equation as we did in higher order ODE. So here, for making auxiliary equation, you need to replace capital D with small m and capital D dash with 1. This is the fixed way, you cannot switch this. Then you have an auxiliary equation, and then we need the solution of that auxiliary equation. So as we discussed in higher order ODEs, that there is no need to show the working. You can use your scientific calculators or any other way to find the roots of the equation. You can directly write the roots of the equation. Once you have the roots, as I told you that the possibility is that you just have 3 kinds of roots: real and distinct, complex roots, and repeated roots. So if you have the real and distinct roots or complex roots, then you just need to write in this way. This way means, as we said in higher order ODEs, then we need to assign as many constants as the number of roots are. So, but remember that in PDEs we represent the constants by f, by calling them f. So in the same manner we assign 4 constants, f1, f2, f3 and f4. Then the actual place of writing the roots is in place of m. This is the general form. So just write the actual root in place of this m. And then each and every root will be added one another. So this is the way to write the final answer of complementary function. So then in example 2 and 3 I repeated the same things by highlighting all these things. I just highlighted all these things in example 2 and 3. So these steps are the hard and fast steps for showing the solution for finding the complementary function. So this is the end of the session now, and inshallah we will start from here in the next session. So as far as this session is concerned, it's goodbye from my side now.